Imagine for a second that your brain isn't just, an organ. Imagine it's a literal battlefield.
A war zone.
Full-scale, active war zone. And on one side, you've got your ambition, and it's screaming, let's build an empire. Let's be a millionaire.
And on the other side, that's the opposition. It's the voice of your parents, your teachers, your upbringing.
Yeah. And they aren't screaming.
No, they're whispering.
Whispering things like, don't run after money. Money is bad.
Yeah.
Just stay safe.
Right.
In the source material we are unpacking today, the speaker actually calls this a Kurukshetra.
From the Mahabharata.
Yeah.
The great battlefield.
Exactly. But the whole twist is that this war, it's not happening out in some field. It's happening right between your ears.
And that internal conflict, he argues, is the single biggest reason people fail. It's not the market. It's not the product.
It's the mindset.
It's a conflict of identity. And today, we're not just recapping a speech. We are, I think, analyzing a masterclass in psychological reconstruction.
Welcome back to the deep dive. The audio we've got is, well, it's pretty intense. It's a recording of Webathon Season 16.
Which is a huge digital gathering for a direct selling company called Indus Viva.
And this is fresh. It's from Friday, February 13, 2026.
And to really get it, you have to understand the environment. This is not some sleepy corporate webinar where everyone's secretly scrolling on their phone.
Oh, not at all. It's early Friday morning. The Zoom room is maxed out at 500 people. It's house full. And the vibe is, it's electric.
And the mission here is transformation. How do you take a teacher or a clerk and turn them into a high-performing business owner?
Which is a tall order. You're asking people to fundamentally change how they see themselves.
And our guide for this is a man named Prem Kumar. He's a Royal Black Diamond distributor.
A title that just screams prestige, right?
It's designed to. But before we even get to him, his Lamborghini, all of that, we have to talk about the setup. The host, a guy named Vishnu, kicks things off.
And he's less of a moderator and more of a drill sergeant.
The discipline is the first thing that jumps out at you. It's incredibly strict for a Zoom call.
It really is. Vishnu just lays down the law. First, you can't log in as iPhone or Oppo.
He says Realme is an app, not a person.
Which sounds like a small thing, but what's the psychology there?
Well, you're stripping away the anonymity. iPhone 13 is a passive observer. Rahul from Delhi, on the other hand, is a person. He's accountable.
Right. It's the first step in building that new identity.
Totally.
But the rule that really got me, the one I laughed at before I realized how serious he was the no bed rule.
Oh, he is brutal about that.
He calls people out. He says, basically, if you are attending from your bed, this session is not for you. He compares it to being an illness person.
Or being in the ICU.
Yes.
And that's such a brilliant rhetorical trap if you think about it. Indus Viva is in the wellness industry.
Of course.
So he's asking, how can you be a leader in wellness if you're acting like a patient? It signals to your team, I'm in the ICU, and nobody wants to follow a leader who looks like they're on life support.
It's shaming, but it's effective shaming.
And it's also what you might call manufacturing professionalism. People are working from home, the lines are blurred.
Right.
By banning the bed and demanding cameras on, they are forcing you out of domestic mode and into business mode. Your bedroom just became a boardroom.
And then, to really dial it up, they open the whole session with Vande Mataram, the national song of India.
Which raises the stakes enormously. Suddenly, you're not just selling a product.
You're nation building. It's patriotic.
It gives it a noble purpose.
So you have 500 people sitting up straight, feeling patriotic. The stage is perfectly set. And then in comes Mr. Prem Kumar.
And the intro makes him sound like a mythological hero.
It's so grand. They list his credentials. 12, 13 years in the industry, that Royal Black Diamond rank, a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
But the detail that probably got everyone's attention.
The car.
The Lamborghini. He's supposedly the only achiever in the industry who has one.
And that's the proof of concept, right? The leader's wealth is the validation of the whole system.
The dream is real because the car is real.
Exactly. But what's interesting is he doesn't just rest on that. He makes this absolutely staggering projection.
He says, what I earned in the last 12 years, I plan to match in the next 12 months.
I mean, just do the math on that. That's not just growth, that's exponential. He's telling everyone the curve is about to go vertical.
It immediately hooks you. You're thinking, okay, how? What's the secret?
And that's his pivot. He doesn't start with sales tactics. He starts with an identity crisis.
He asks the room, who are you?
And he knows the answer they'll give.
I'm an engineer. I'm a doctor. I'm a clerk.
And he basically says, those labels are holding you back. We need to strip them away and replace them with one word.
Entrepreneur.
Yes. Because if you see yourself as an engineer,
Yeah.
then selling juice on the side feels, well, it feels awkward. It might feel beneath you.
But if you're an entrepreneur,
Then selling is just part of the job. It protects your ego. It gives you resilience.
but his definition of an entrepreneur is so grounded, it's not the Silicon Valley version.
Not at all. It's a simple formula for him. An entrepreneur is just someone who uses their ability to solve a problem for society and earns a profit.
And his example for this is, it's just perfect. The Vada Pav analogy.
It's a masterclass in making a concept relatable.
For anyone who doesn't know, Vada Pav is like the go-to street food in Mumbai. A potato fritter in a bun.
Cheap, fast, delicious.
So Prem talks about his friend who runs a canteen at a Mumbai railway station during rush hour, and this friend is selling 2 Vada Pavs every single second.
2 per second. That's an insane volume.
It is. But Prem's point isn't about the food. He says this guy isn't just selling snacks. He's solving the problem of hunger for thousands of commuters.
You see what he did there?
Oh, yeah.
He elevated the task, he gave it a higher purpose, and then
Yeah.
he maps that right onto their business.
He says we aren't just selling iPulse juice. We are solving wellness problems. We are solving heart health.
It's a moral justification for making a profit, which is so critical because it tackles that deep-seated guilt a lot of people have about making money, especially from friends.
He argues that profit is just the ethical reward for service. The Vada Pav seller makes 50 rupees for solving hunger. You make 500 for solving a health issue.
Both are morally right. You're not taking money. You're receiving a receipt for a problem you solved.
That is such a powerful mental shift. You're not a predator, you're a helper.
And that brings us right back to that battlefield in the brain. He really dives deep into what he calls the middle-class mindset.
He says we're all programmed from childhood. We've all heard it right. Don't run after money. Money is evil.
And his counter is pretty brutal. He asks, who told you that?
Usually people who didn't have any money.
Right. So he says that's poor thinking. He's telling them to dismiss the source of that advice.
He even brings up Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which seems to be required reading in this world. But he frames it as a war. The Kurukshetra. You have to kill the voice of your poor dad in your head to succeed.
And to give them a new voice to listen to, he uses celebrities. He points to Bollywood stars like Shah Rukh Khan.
He calls them entrepreneurs in entertainment.
Exactly. He says Shah Rukh Khan makes billions solving the problem of boredom.
So if he can make billions from entertainment, why can't you make millions from wellness?
He's normalizing huge ambition. He's trying to break the ceiling on what they think they deserve to earn.
But there's still that one big elephant in the room he has to deal with.
The stigma.
The is this a scheme question.
And he tackles it head on. He talks about being in the USA and telling someone he was in network marketing.
And the American apparently just got it. You have a product, you have a network, the network markets the product. Simple.
He felt understood,
Yeah.
legitimate. So he doubles down on that feeling of legitimacy for his audience. He uses 3 really specific words to describe their business.
He calls it purist, scientific, and finish. This is the one that surprised me. Spiritual.
Spiritual, yeah. It feels like a huge leap.
How does he even connect selling juice to spirituality?
He uses an analogy of Sachin Tendulkar, the cricket god. Tendulkar treated the cricket pitch like a temple.
Okay.
So Prem says, if you treat your trade with that level of devotion, it becomes a spiritual act. He even quotes a Sanskrit phrase, Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, may everyone be happy and prosperous.
Wow. So he's not just justifying it morally, he's making it holy.
He's scrubbing away any feeling that this is a dirty business, and he even polices their language. This part is crucial.
He tells them to stop using words like trap or catch or drag people in.
Yes, he says if you're saying, I need to catch 2 more people, you're not a professional yet. You're admitting you think it's a trap.
You have to change your vocabulary.
If you change the words, you change the thought. You're not trapping someone, you're solving their problem. You sell with confidence, not hesitation.
So, okay, let's recap where we are. He's rebuilt their identity, he's justified their profit, and he's spiritually cleansed the industry. Now comes the close.
The call to action. And it's all about urgency.
He calls the Webathon a school that teaches you what traditional school didn't. How to get wealthy. But then it all pivots to the Malaysia trip.
The classic incentive trip. And it's cut off Friday.
Right, the deadline is today. But did you catch that one little detail about the female distributors?
Yes, that was fascinating.
He says ladies have 1 extra week, to qualify.
On the surface, it sounds a little break, but then he immediately frames it.
He warns them not to use that week to relax.
He tells them to use it to help others qualify. It's this perfect mix of kindness and pressure. We gave you this gift, now go use it to bring in more business.
And he throws in a President's Club offer on top of that. It's just layers of incentives. The Lamborghini is the big dream.
But the Malaysia trip is the short-term panic that keeps the engine running.
He then wraps up by asking for feedback on Facebook. And he says something that just sums up his entire philosophy. He says, even if you abuse me, at least you gave me something.
That's the mindset in a nutshell. Everything is an asset. An insult is just a form of engagement. He refuses to lose.
And the whole thing ends with a chant. Jai Hind, Jai Indus Viva.
Linking company and country one last time. You're not just a salesperson, you're a patriot.
So if you step back from this one company, or this one product, what we've just listened to is really a blueprint for building belief.
It absolutely is. I mean, regardless of what you think of the business model itself, the leadership strategy is incredibly sophisticated. Prem Kumar is systematically dismantling every single psychological barrier his team has.
Barrier 1, I'm just a housewife.
Nope. You're an entrepreneur. Barrier 2, selling feels sleazy.
No, it's problem solving.
Yeah.
You're the Vatapov guy. Barrier 3, making a lot of money is greedy.
Wrong. Profit is moral. It's your receipt for doing good in the world.
It's this perfect self-sustaining ecosystem of belief. And by the time they log off that Zoom call, they're not just selling juice anymore.
They're on a mission, and that belief is what fuels the whole thing. If you think you're annoying people, you'll quit after a few rejections.
But if you believe you're saving them,
You never stop.
it just shows you that these organizations don't just sell products, they sell a better version of you.
And that's a product people will always, always want to buy.
So, here's a thought to leave you with, and it comes straight from that Vatapov analogy. Prem argues that money is just the byproduct of solving a problem.
So the question for you is this. If you aren't happy with your current income, is it because the problem you're solving for the world isn't big enough?
Or is it because you just haven't clearly defined what that problem is in the first place?
Something to chew on. Thanks for diving deep with us.
See you next time.